For a club with a real cup reputation, Tottenham have gone an awfully long time without lifting this one. 1991 their last, just 3 years after the original Wimbledon had shocked planet football. In their modern AFC guise, the Dons were back at Wembley looking for another shock here. Jimmy Abdu so nearly set them on their way. Although a few regulars were given a rest by Mauricio Pochettino on the day, the Argentine still picked a surprisingly strong 11. For starters, the home team sheet included main man Harry Kane. That was his main moment in the first half. Neil Ardley's men certainly held their own before the break. That said, keeper George Long had a pretty busy afternoon. Here he denied Eric Lamela after Sissoko's driving run and Kane's precise pass. The second 45 began with another nearly moment for the guests, the kind you knew had to go in if the upset was on. Jonathan Meads forcing Michel Vorm into action. After that, though, the 60-place gulf was far more evident. Out-of-favour midfielder Moussa Dembele drove a typically well-struck shot against the upright before the hosts really started to flex their extra muscle with 3 goals in 8 minutes just after the hour mark to crush any hopes of a giant killing. The first 2 of those goals came from the most predictable source of all. Kane's opener slid in just about after more good work from Sissoko. And when Kane was picked out by young fullback Kyle Walker-Peters to force in number 2 just a couple of minutes later, he was up to a mightily impressive 26 in all competitions for the campaign, and Spurs were in the comfort zone, heading for round 4. The third goal in the burst came from a more surprising source when Lyle Taylor lost possession. Not quite as prolific as Kane is Tottenham's Jan Vertonghen. When you've not scored for over 4 years, any assistance is welcome, and the Belgian got some when he let rip from distance. The deflection off Barry Fuller crucial, but even so, a fine strike. After 8 hat-tricks in that extraordinary 2017, Kane was eyeing a New Year treble here, and he nearly had it soon after. A strong hand from Long, keeping the Dons' deficit down. And 3-0 is how it stayed come the full-time whistle, despite the best efforts of Heung-min Son, who saw that same post claim yet another victim. Wembley feeling more and more like home for Tottenham, which is handy in this competition.